Things are gonna get crazy!
Most everyone's mad here.
Hello, and welcome everyone to a bonus episode of AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast. Yes, this is a little out of the ordinary, but I decided why not? We're gonna do something a little bit special. In fact, it's something that I've already done annually, but I considered why the fridge not. Let's go ahead and do this again. Yes, folks, welcome to the special E3 episode of AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast. Now, if you are watching this, you may have noticed that the chat wall over here is a little bit empty, that no one is really responding. And the reason for that is because I'm not live streaming this episode. I decided I'm just going to go solo onto this and just do this as like a self-recorded episode. I'm just going to do it on my own without going on Twitch and doing the whole live process. Like I said before, this is a bonus episode. So we're just going to quickly go through all the highlights at this year's E3, and I'll just go and talk about them. I know that we're going to miss the interactivity aspect for this episode in particular, but don't worry, that's what the comment section is for. At least if you are watching it on YouTube or on social media and stuff like that. But anyways, now with all that said and done, I think it is now time that since, well, we don't have a chat wall to ask if they are ready, we might as well go and get this one started. So yes, this year is E3, or this week, actually, as I am recording this, was in fact the Electronic Entertainment Expo. It has finally come back, or it has gradually came back after what we went through with the pandemic, and technically not everyone has necessarily returned. PlayStation decided to opt out on this one. But even though we could do without Sony, or in this case, it would have been very helpful if Sony would have added in onto the PlayStation stuff, but I'll get a little bit more onto that later. But what I have here is actually 4 of the main presenters at this year's E3. So what we're going to do is that we're going to list down all the big announcements that they have done. We'll do a little bit of a review, and I'll put in my opinion onto what they have presented and which games I am the most excited to see coming from them with what they have presented at this year's E3. I know technically there have been some others like WB Games and Capcom that also did their presentations, but let's be honest, a lot of them are really not worth talking about. So that's why I only have the big 4 that we got, which is going to be from Ubisoft, Square Enix, Microsoft, and Bethesda. They decided to join together to make a big announcement, and of course, Nintendo. So, with that said, let's go ahead and start things off with our first big announcements coming from Ubisoft. And this year has been pretty interesting because the big game that they have revealed for this year, or the biggest game that they have coming up, is not necessarily one of their big IPs, not necessarily the Prince of Persia remake or anything like that, or another Assassin's Creed game, but rather it's gonna be Avatar. Yes, they actually got a massive game inspired by James Cameron's Avatar, which is going to be called Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. That's going to be coming soon in 2022 for the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, Amazon Luna, and Google Stadia. And the best way to describe this game, or at least from what we have seen from the trailers and from the presentation, is that they presented Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, basically the Avatar version of something like Skyrim or Breath of the Wild. It's an open world game, except you go and experience the open world set in the world of Pandora in Avatar. So that's basically the big gist of that. Then afterwards, they have revealed a brand new Mario and Rabbids game that's going to be coming soon called Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which is going to be the sequel to Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battles. This time around, there's going to be a new plot line, new enemies that you got to go and face, and of course, a whole bunch of new characters. And the new signature character that we are going to have here, on top of having the classic Mario characters like Mario, Peach, and Luigi, along with the Rabbid versions of the Mario characters, including Rabbid Peach and Rabbid Mario and Rabbid Luigi, we are also going to have a Rabbid Rosalina, which honestly, looking at the trailers, it was actually really funny considering they played her up as this really angsty teen. It's like, fine, I'll go and join you, like, whatever. Okay, like, what is this thing? It's gonna blow up the earth or something? Alright, cool, whatever. I think I could, like, blast him or whatever. Like, you know, like, that type of archetype character, they decided to go with Rosalina. And yes, there are gonna be Lumas as well, and they will have a rabbit face. So you can imagine those cute little Lumas, those chubby little stars, except they got the face of the rabbits going, "Bah!" So yeah, that's going to be a big game that is also going to be coming out in 2022 from Ubisoft. And then coming afterwards, we also got the reveal of some DLCs, one of which is going to be a DLC for Far Cry 6, which on top of Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, there's also going to be a DLC for Far Cry 6, in which you can actually play as the villains, and that's going to be coming soon, in which you can also get with the Season Pass. Then they also showed a trailer for a movie, yes, not a game, but a movie that will be coming out, which was inspired by their 2016 VR game, Werewolves Within, and that's going to be coming out on June 25th, meaning that it will obviously be overshadowed by Fast and Furious 9. Then, following afterwards, we got another DLC for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is called The Siege of Paris. Which is stated here, which, by the way, I almost forgot to mention that all of my sources will be coming from IGN. It states here, it will feature Ivor and their lead, and as they lead their band of Vikings on an attack on the French capital. So basically, this is a DLC in which you could play as Vikings now in France. So you can go plunder and pillage, and you can go get a baguette at the same time. Maybe that could be the big thing for this. Alright, anyways, going back into this. And by the way, I almost forgot that this DLC will be coming soon this summer. And then afterwards, they have revealed Just Dance 2022. Yes, the annual Just Dance game is going to be coming out, and this time around for 2022, they got Todrick Hall's song Nails, Hair, Hips, Heels that will be featured in the game. In fact, even in the trailer, it actually mentions that they got the reveal trailer, which features Todrick Hall. And that game is going to be coming out on November 4th. So if you guys love those games, then mark your calendars on that. And then afterwards, they did briefly mention about Rainbow Six Siege, in which they promised that they are hard at work on cross-play and cross-progression soon, meaning that you could be able to play with other players from different consoles. They even mentioned that considering that Rainbow Six Siege is available for not consoles, but for things like PC, Google Stadia, and Amazon Luna, in early 2022, you'll be able to play with people on those other platforms. So if you have it on PC, then coming soon in early 2022, you'll also be playing with other players on Google Stadia. So that's just a little example. And then following afterwards, they have revealed a brand new release date for their upcoming game, Riders Republic, which they said is going to be coming out on September 2nd. And for those of you who don't know Riders Republic, it is stated here, Riders Republic is an open-world multiplayer game where people can play with friends, have a career, compete, and more while participating in sports like snowboarding, skiing, biking, and even flying around in wingsuits. So that's the big thing with this, is that that's going to be coming out on September 2nd. And then afterwards, an old property is going to be coming back, in which is going to be Rocksmith. Yes, you guys might remember Rocksmith, the Ubisoft game in which you can actually play with a real guitar. Yes, that's going to be coming out, called Rocksmith Plus. And it's not necessarily going to be a game, but rather a subscription service, which it states here. Rocksmith Plus is a subscription service for its popular guitar teaching software that lets you plug in an electric guitar via USB adapter and learn popular songs by following along with notes as they appear on screen. You can also sign up for an upcoming closed beta starting today. Then, following afterwards, we got a bit more of a look of a previous game that they have revealed called Rainbow Six Extraction. And not only did they show like some of the multiplayer aspects of it, some of the gameplay, but also they have revealed that the game will be coming out on September 6th. And finally, the last thing that they have revealed for this is the fact that they are putting an importance on accessibility, that they want gamers with disabilities or that they need different needs per se, that they want them to go and play games as well, and they want to do some special techniques in order for them to play the games as well, like for example for deaf people or for blind people, for them to also become gamers as well, or to become more of a gamer as well. So they did put in a bit of a promise for that. So that's all the major announcements that has been revealed for this year's E3 with Ubisoft. And a lot of these, I will say, there's not that much I would say that did impress me. And by the way, just a little bit of a heads up, this is going to be a bit of a theme where you will notice a lot of them are going to be DLCs and date reveals. So you'll see that a lot of them, it's not necessarily new info, just like little extras and tidbits and stuff like that. And it's kind of an interesting move where this year their big reveal is actually Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. And I could see, like, through the trailers, they want to make this big. Like I said, this is technically like Breath of the Wild or Skyrim, but themed to Avatar. And they want people to go and explore the world of Avatar through this game and stuff like that. So, of course, they're going to be hyping this up. And no big surprise, considering that it is going to be launching in 2022. I mean, it is the perfect time, considering that it will tie in with the upcoming movie that is going to be coming out in 2022. Many people have forgotten, of course, but don't forget, at the end of next year, that's when Disney and 20th Century, technically, they're going to be putting out the Avatar sequels. It's been much hyped for a while, or they've been trying to do this for a very long time, but yes, pretty soon we will be seeing the next Avatar movies, and I guess this is pretty much a major tool in order to really help hype things up for the next batch of sequels to come, because you got to keep in mind, their big plan with the Avatar franchise, or to turn it into a major franchise, is to go and build several sequels. Like, they won't have just one sequel coming. I think they got like 4 sequels coming up, like an Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5, in which James Cameron is making them all together at once, or like one at a time. But I will say, if there is one game that does intrigue me, that does pique my interest, honestly, I would have to go with Mario and Rabbids. Because I'm going to be very honest with you guys, I actually really like Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battles. It's actually a really good game. And the reason why I say this is because I know there is a lot of flack against the Rabbids, where a lot of people say that it's basically the video game equivalent of the Minions, but I'm not gonna lie, I've always had a soft spot for the Rabbids, and I would say, honestly, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battles is one of their best games, if not their best game so far. It's actually a really clever, like a really smart game that does make you think. I understand that there is, like, technically it's copying the format of another game. Like, it slipped my mind on what it is, but you guys get what I mean. Oh, fudge. That is something that I do need to fix. Actually, here, you can watch this live where I do fix up my camera. All right, there we go. There, now it fits properly on the screen. But anyways, all right, back to what I was talking about. Yes, with Mario and Rabbids, it's actually a very clever game. It does make you think, like, it really is that kind of strategy game where it really does make you think a lot. Plus, it actually does have some pretty solid humor as well. Not just, like, the stupid Rabbids humor, but really just the combination of, like, the Rabbids humor with a little bit of Mario elements to use for their material. It's actually a lot of fun. It's the kind of game where you're not supposed to take it seriously, but it does make you think a lot. There is a lot of strategy to it, and it's a game that honestly I really do admire. So the fact that we are getting a second one, yeah, it definitely does have me hyped up. The only thing that I find to be a little bit disappointing is just the fact that it's coming out in 2022. Like, I remember last Saturday I first heard of it, and it got me a little bit excited, and then I was like, 2022? Ah, come on. Do I have to wait that long? So, yeah, I think out of all these announcements, the one that did really pique my interest has to be Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Everything else, on the other hand, I haven't really played any of these games, like, I've yet to play stuff like Valhalla or Far Cry 6 or whatever, really. I haven't played much of Just Dance 2, so really that's the one thing that has piqued my interest. I mean, technically there is also Rocksmith Plus, because I remember a while ago, back when the first Rocksmith was released, that was something that did pique my interest, and like something that did intrigue me to actually try out playing guitar, like to learn to actually play guitar. But from there, I've only tried it a few times, but that's it. I've always wanted to try to pick it up again, so maybe this will give me the opportunity to do so. But I am a little iffy on the fact that it is a subscription service. Hopefully it's not too much. Maybe they'll, they won't go in the same price as like a streaming service, They're not going to go like $15 a month or something like that. Make it relatively low, like maybe like, I don't know, $5 a month, and we'll probably be fine. Or even like, better yet, try to do like Pokemon Home and do like $20 a year. Then it would be perfect. That I would find it to be absolutely perfect. But yeah, overall though, not necessarily a great one per se, but yeah, I'm excited. Honestly, I'm mainly excited for Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, and maybe for Rocksmith Plus, but we'll see, We'll see how it goes. Okay, so the next one that we have coming up, our next big presenter is from another acclaimed developer, is none other than Square Enix. Yes, Square Enix has a bunch of big announcements of their own, and you probably know nowadays that Square Enix has been doing so much more than just like Final Fantasy or Dragon Warrior. Now they have been pretty occupied with working on Marvel stuff as well, especially when they have released not long ago Marvel's Adventures. Well, the big announcement from Square Enix is that not only do they have new info from Avengers, but they've also revealed that they got another major game coming out inspired by Marvel, which is Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes, brought to us by Eidos Montreal. And if you got, and I'm speaking as a Montrealer, we definitely know our games. And a lot of people even say that Montreal is kind of like the Hollywood of video games. So whenever there's a game from Montreal, it's going to be a pretty epic one right there. So yes, we do have a Guardians of the Galaxy game that will be coming out, and much like Avengers, it's not going to be associated with the movies directly, like Star-Lord isn't necessarily Chris Pratt or anything like that, but it will stay true to the tone of both the comics and the movies, and from the trailer that they have presented, it definitely looks like something that will be a lot of fun. And they even have revealed that, on top of that, they showed some gameplay where it is going to be pretty interesting, where you will be jumping from one Guardian to the next. So it's not just going to be playing as Star-Lord, but you can even jump as some of the other players like Gamora or Rocket Raccoon or Groot or Drax or anything like that. Like, in order to have, like, that team mentality, even if you would be single player. And that game is going to be officially released this year on October 26th. Then following afterwards, we also got a new Final Fantasy game, or technically a Final Fantasy spin-off game that's going to be coming out, called Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. And this is going to be a new game that they have revealed this year at E3, in which it states here, players take on the role of Jack, along with his allies Ash and Jed, to defeat Chaos. Along the way, the team will face off against iconic monsters from the Final Fantasy series, all while using powerful spells and abilities from iconic jobs like warriors, dragoons, and black mage. And that is going to be coming soon and be available on the PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC. The next thing that they have revealed is going to be the next Platinum game, in which is going to be called Babylon Fall. Now, this was something that they have revealed a while ago, but now they have presented some new gameplay footage, in which they showed you some of the game mechanics and how it pretty much works, which is basically like, yeah, there's a lot of co-op elements to it, so you could play like multiplayer where you could play with your friends, but the big thing is that you can also have several weapons at once at your disposal with something that they call Gideon's Coffin. So we don't necessarily have a major release for that yet, but they do promise that this thing is still coming soon. Then, following afterwards, speaking of Avengers, by the way, they have also revealed some new info regarding the Avengers game, in which they have revealed the content roadmap that they have set out. On top of that, they have also revealed their next major DLC that's going to be coming out, which is called War for Wakanda, which will be featuring Black Panther, along with some of the other characters from that franchise in particular, including Dora Milaje, Okoye, and Shuri. And that is actually going to be coming out in August, so you don't have to wait too long. Then, following afterwards, we actually got a couple of Life is Strange announcements. First of which is going to be Life is Strange True Colors, in which they say will really emphasize on the power of empathy from Alex Chen, or more specifically, Alex Chen's empathy powers, to which it states here, in which the gameplay showcases Alex Chen's empathy power and how it will let you interact with the world. So that's going to be the new Life is Strange game that's going to be coming out. But that's not all, because also they are going to be releasing Life is Strange Remastered Collection. So all in one package, you can actually get several of the Life is Strange games, including the first one, Life is Strange 2, and Before the Storm, which that is going to be coming out on September 30th. And then we also got some re-releases as well. Some classic re-releases, by the way, to which they have revealed Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster, to which they are going to take Final Fantasy 1 through 6, and they're going to be releasing them both on Steam and on mobile. So just a fun new little way in order to play the classic Final Fantasy games. Then, following afterwards, they have revealed a new release date for Legend of Mana, to which that's going to be coming out on the PS4, Switch, and Stream on June 24th, so that's just about next week as I am recording this. And then, following afterwards, they did do a little montage of some of their other upcoming games, including Hitman Sniper, The Shadows, Nier Reincarnation, and some other Final Fantasy mobile games. In which, over here, honestly, I could see some of the potential on some of the things that they have revealed. Of course, there are a few of which that are more franchise-oriented, of like the things that they've already put out. Like, I could already see some hype and anticipation for stuff like Life is Strange True Colors and the Remastered Collection, as well as the DLC for Marvel's Avengers. But I think it's safe to say that the real big announcement is regarding the new Guardians of the Galaxy game. Even though it doesn't necessarily have a connection with the movie again, but it does have a lot of potential, it does have a lot of promise, and it definitely looks like... Woo, excuse me, folks. Anyways, that's probably just the water coming back. But, as I was saying, this definitely shows a lot of potential of something that could be as fun as watching the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, because like I said, they do try their best in order to recreate the tone of it to feel like Guardians of the Galaxy that most people are nowadays pretty familiar with. And considering that they have done a pretty solid job before with Marvel's Avengers, I'm sure people will definitely have the confidence that they could trust Eidos Montreal into working on this Guardians of the Galaxy game. So yeah, this is definitely one that I'm sure a lot of people will be keeping an eye out for. And as for the rest, it's like a lot of them are like maybes. Like some of the, like I will admit with Ubisoft, their presentation, a lot of them is just like, okay, whatever. But some of them, it's like I could see some intrigue. Like some people could be interested for Strangers of Paradise or for Babylon's Fall and stuff like that. But it's like, okay, like I could see where there is the appeal. I could see where Square Enix this year has the step up compared to Ubisoft. But really, the one big announcement is undeniably Guardians of the Galaxy. So that's definitely the one game that a lot of people will keep an eye on, including myself. I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for that. So that's basically Square Enix's presentation. It's pretty small, probably one of the smallest, but still has definitely caught a lot of people's eye. I'll give it that. Alright, so moving on to the next presentation. This is going to be a big one. Now we're into the final big two, and the two biggest ones of them all. And for our next one, this is actually going to be a collab presentation, not from one major presenter, but from two, actually, who decided to collaborate in order to reveal their upcoming lineup of what they have in store. And what I'm talking about is regarding Microsoft and Bethesda. And man, they have a whole lot of announcements, so brace yourselves. This is going to be a pretty big list. And the first one that they have revealed, or the biggest one, is actually regarding an upcoming game from Bethesda called Starfield. And just to give you a little bit of a synopsis of what they have explained this year is during the E3 presentation, Bethesda's Todd Howard said that Starfield is about hope and the shared humanity we all share. This new game will also be the first of Bethesda's Creation Engine 2, which promises improved graphical fidelity and other improvements. And long story short of how these games are, basically Todd Howard has promised that this is going to be like the space version of Skyrim, a Han Solo simulator, if you will. However, there is still one major catch, or technically two. Number one being the fact that this will be an Xbox exclusive. You won't be getting it on the PlayStation, or you won't be getting it on the Switch or anything like that. It's just going to be on Xbox. And catch number two is going to be the fact that you won't be getting it for a long time, because this game is going to be released on November 11th, 2022. Yeah, so we still got a long time for this one, so they decided to announce this stupidly early. But then next up, another big reveal is actually regarding Halo Infinite. This is going to be the next big Halo game that's going to be coming out. And what they have revealed this year is not just a little bit of footage of the multiplayer and some of the campaign as well of the game, but also they have confirmed a major release date of the holidays of 2021. So by the end of the year, maybe you'll see under the Christmas tree that you could probably get Halo Infinite. And then they have made a big announcement for a brand new game that's going to be coming out called Forza Horizon 5, in which it says here, it is taking the series to Mexico, set to be the largest, most diverse Horizon ever. Forza Horizon 5 features a world that includes everything from an intimidating snow-covered active volcano to idyllic beaches to rugged mountain ranges to open deserts to a rainforest with ancient ruins. And this game is going to be coming out this year on November 9th. Then following afterwards, they got another game reveal, which is going to be Redfall, which is going to be an FPS game in which you kill vampires. That's basically the big main thing, and the big catch of all this is an FPS where you just go and shoot around against vampires, or it will have this vampire theme, and it will also have co-op as well. Which, yes, by the way, considering this is also from the Xbox presentation, this will be an Xbox exclusive. They have also stated here that Redfall will feature 4 heroes at launch, including Layla Ellison, the telekinetic, Jacob Boyer, the sharpshooter, Remy De La Rose and her robot companion Brybin, and Devinder Crowsley, the paranormal investigator. While the game will allow up to 4-player co-op, its single-player and multiplayer options will be blended seamlessly. So that's going to be a new upcoming game that will be available for Xbox soon. Then following afterwards, brace yourselves because we got a whole lot of release date reveals and some DLC as well. First of which, they have revealed the release date for Diablo 2 Resurrection, which that's going to be coming out on September 23rd, and will also include 8-player co-op, as well as running up to 4K 60 FPS, so that's going to have some power there. Then, following afterwards, they've revealed the release date for Stalker 2, which that's going to be coming out next year on April 28th. Then after that, oh, and by the way, there will be a lot of info regarding Xbox Game Pass. So it's not just going to be general releases, but also Xbox Game Pass releases too. Back 4 Blood will also be available for Xbox Game Pass on its launch day on October 12th. Then following afterwards, we got a new game from the Just Cause developers called Contraband, which is set in a 1970s smuggler's paradise called Buy-In. And so far, that's just announced. I don't think we got an official release date yet. And then we got another announcement of a new Xbox Series game called The Outer Worlds 2, which the whole point of that is just going to be a big reveal. Then we got a brand new DLC for Sea of Thieves. Yes, the game where you can become pirates, but now this new DLC will allow you to go and join up with some of the most notorious pirates of them all. And I'm talking, of course, of Captain Jack Sparrow. Yes, basically the big announcement with Sea of Thieves is that pretty soon, actually like in a few days or a few weeks or something like that, there is going to be a brand new expansion, which I believe is going to be free, in which you can actually team up and have some bonus content related to the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. And of course, you can even go and dress up as Captain Jack Sparrow himself. Then afterwards, we got a game that is actually released just now, which is Yakuza Life Like a Dragon. I was about to say Life is Like a Dragon, but yes, it's Yakuza Like a Dragon. You can get it now on Xbox Game Pass. Then afterwards, we also got some new gameplay from Battlefield 2042. And then we also got an update regarding a Yuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, which apparently that game has been delayed to 2023. They still need a little bit of time in order to make it. However, in order to compensate for this, they got a spin-off game that will be coming a little bit sooner than that, which is going to be a Yuden Chronicle Rising, which that's going to be coming out in 2022. Then following afterwards, we got the release date for 12 Minutes that's going to be coming out on August 19th, which is a game that will be featuring Daisy Ridley and James McAvoy. Then we got the release date for Psychonauts 2, which that's going to be coming out on August 25th and will also be available on Xbox Game Pass. Then we also got the release date for Microsoft Flight Simulator, which that is going to be coming out on the Xbox Series X and S on July 27th, along with a special little expansion that is related to Top Gun Maverick as a tie-in for the movie. Then afterwards, we got the release date for Age of Empire 4, which that's going to be coming out on October 28th. And then we got Doom Eternal that's going to be coming soon to Xbox Game Pass, along with a next-gen upgrade. So that's going to be coming out on June 29th. So not next week, but in a few weeks, actually. And on top of that, they've also revealed a whole bunch of other games that will be coming out on the Xbox Game Pass, such as The Evil Within 2, Rage, the Fallout games, Dishonored, and many, many more. And speaking of Fallout, by the way, they have also revealed the DLC Steel Ring that's going to be coming out on July 7th, along with the announcement of Expedition The Pit that's coming out next year. Then, following afterwards, we got the console version of the Elder Scrolls Online, which is the Elder Scrolls Online Console Enhanced. That's actually going to be coming out next week, but oddly enough, this article states that apparently that's coming out on June 15th, which, is it out now or is it out next week? Make up your mind, IGN! Alright, anyways, we also got the announcement of a cute little game for Xbox called Party Animals, which allows you to play as cute little animal characters like a doggy, a bunny, a kitty, a dinosaur, and the whole point is to go and beat each other up and be the last one standing. And that's going to be coming out next year in 2022. Now that, I will say, that's going to be a game that I can imagine a lot of Let's Players are going to have a lot of fun with. So don't be surprised if you'll find Let's Players like Markiplier or Jacksepticeye pick this one up. Then afterwards, they have revealed that for the Xbox Game Pass, Hades is going to be coming on August 13th. And then afterwards, they revealed a new game, which is going to be from the co-founder of Limbo and Inside's Play Dead called Somerville that's coming out next year. Then we got the sequel to A Plague Tale called A Plague Tale Requiem that's gonna, or a sequel to A Plague Tale Innocence that's called A Plague Tale Requiem that is going to be coming out in 2022. Then afterwards, they showed a little bit of new gameplay footage of Far Cry 6, including Gus Fring himself. That's going to be one of the main characters in here. Then afterwards, they've also announced that there's going to be a Slime Rancher 2 coming out next year. After that, we got a new snowboarding game called Shredders that's coming out at the end of this year in December. Then after that, we also got Atomic Heart, which they've revealed some gameplay footage that will be coming soon and be available on Xbox Game Pass. Then after that, we also got Replace, which is going to be a cyberpunk thriller that will be having some 2.5D art that's going to be coming out in 2022 as an Xbox exclusive. Then they showed some DLC for Grounded called Shrooms and Doom that's coming out on June 30th. And then they also revealed that Xbox is going to be having the grand phenomenon Among Us, which will be having a 15-player lobby as well. So that's going to be coming soon to the Xbox as well. And finally, we got the Ascent that's going to be coming out on July 29th. I'm telling you, that's quite a mouthful with all the things that we have announced. But with all the things that they have revealed, though, I will say they've revealed so much. I'll give them that. But I will say they've revealed very few that is actually of substance. There's not necessarily a whole lot that they've actually revealed per se. There's not necessarily plenty that there is a new release date for. Like, at the most that I could think of, really from the list that we've got here, there is maybe Forza that they have revealed, what was it again? The Forza Horizons 5 that they've announced, and Redfall as well, but nothing too major. A lot of these things, like, we already know about. The grand majority of Xbox and Bethesda's announcements are really just a whole bunch of game reveals, and that's it. There's nothing really new that we have necessarily learned about what they have coming up. Like, maybe the biggest game that they have revealed is Starfield, and I could see that being a major game. I could see that being a major deal when that thing is going to be coming out, and Bethesda already put in a lot of promise to it with their new engine, and the fact that it's going to be like this Skyrim from space kind of game. But the problem with that is that that ain't going to be coming out until, like, later in the year, like in 2022. Well, not just 2022, but at the end of 2022, in November of 2022. That's still way too long. Like, we would still have an entire E3, and even with what they've shown here, it's not really a whole lot. You could tell that this is a game that's still, like, heavily in development, and whatever we have seen here, it's not going to be the exact same thing as what we are going to end up with at the end of 2022. So that's my biggest problem with the entire announcements that they have shown for Xbox and Bethesda, is that there isn't necessarily a whole lot of substance that we got. There isn't really anything new that we have. It's just the grand majority of them is just a whole lot of release dates. And yeah, like, you got some nice little trailers here and there and a few extra gameplays, but I don't know. Honestly, for me, I would say there's not really too much that I would highly be interested in. Like, a lot of them are like maybes. It's like, okay, maybe Halo Infinite. Admittedly, it's been a long time since I've played any of the Halo games, and like, I don't know if this would be the one that I would go and pick up and like get back on Halo, or like maybe Starfield, but that one isn't going to be coming out in like a long time. And like a lot of the others, well, I don't know. It's just like, you know, a lot of them are just release dates we already know, or just expansions to other games that we have. So really, it's just, or like, yeah, maybe party animals as well. Like, I could see like a lot of fun gameplay, a lot of fun like let's plays coming out of this, but I don't know. There isn't really too much that really piqued my interest per se. Like, it's hard for me to even find a game that I would say I want this, you know, something as much as like the other ones, like with Ubisoft with Mario and Rabbids, or with Square Enix with Guardians of the Galaxy. There's just really isn't much. So overall, I just feel like with the Xbox and Bethesda presentation that they got, it really is quantity over quality with this one. It really is just revealing a whole bunch of release dates, more so than it is revealing a whole bunch of games. Alright, so with that said, it is time that we go into the grand finale. And I think it is safe to say that this is the best one. I think out of all of the E3 presentations, the winner is undeniably the one that I have coming up right over here, because they actually do have a good amount of quantity, but there is also a good amount of quality with a good amount of games that are really worth being excited over. And what I'm talking about is none other than Nintendo. In fact, you know, fun fact actually, on Tuesday when Nintendo actually had their Nintendo Direct, for the first time I decided to do a live stream of my reactions, and that was honestly something that was a lot of fun to do. I didn't get as much as I would normally have in terms of viewership, like for my podcast regularly, but it was still a lot of fun, you know? It was still great interacting with people and like sharing our thoughts and reactions, and even doing predictions and stuff like that. It was honestly fantastic. I definitely had a blast, and again, thank you all thank you all to the people who have joined me on that little live stream, just checking out the Nintendo Direct stuff. But anyways, okay. Going back into the announcements right here, going back to Nintendo Direct, let's actually go into what they have announced. So, without further ado, let's go and begin by checking out the first big reveal that they have. Of course, nowadays it seems like it's a major tradition, but we gotta go and start things off with the big reveal of the next fighter for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, in which they have revealed is Tekken's very own Kazuya Mishima, showing a little taste of his fighting style, and it seems a little bit interesting. It's kind of like a bit of a mix between Ryu and Ken, and also some of Sephiroth and Joker as well. Like, you got a little bit of those types of combinations. However, there is no confirmation of like how specifically he's going to play, because Masahiro Sakurai did state that on June 28th, he will have a special presentation to show in detail how Kazuya works in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Then afterwards, they have revealed a new game from a property we haven't heard from in a long time, which is Metroid. Which not only did they confirm that they are still hard at work on Metroid Prime 4, but they have also revealed a brand new 2D Metroid game called Metroid Dread, which is going to be a sequel to the 2002 Game Boy Advance game Metroid Fusion. And on top of that, not only did they reveal the release date, which will be out on October 8th, but as well, they have revealed that there's going to be some special amiibos that will be coming out that will tie in with the game, in which you can get a brand new Samus amiibo, as well as an Emmy amiibo. And by the way, no, it's not like the Emmy Awards. I mean the new enemies of the game called Emmy, which is EMMI. That's what they're spelled. What they stand for, I don't really know as of yet, but we will know on October 8th for sure. Anyways, moving right along, we also got, not necessarily a new game, but a bit of a remastered game called Mario Party Superstars. And this is going to be a game that I'll say right now is going to be coming out on October 29th, but the reason why I say is a remastered, it's mainly because you think of Mario Party Superstars like the best of Mario Party, where they will take 100 of the most beloved mini-games across the Mario Party franchise, and they will remaster them for this game in particular, on top of also bringing back 5 classic boards from the Nintendo 64 era, one of which is the fan-favorite Spaceland from Mario Party 2. And once again, that's also going to be coming out this year on October 29th. Then, following afterwards, they actually did do a couple of Legend of Zelda reveals as well. Not only did they reveal the expansion, not only did they reveal that coming soon we are going to be getting the first expansion pass for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, in which you can also get Zelda on a motorcycle. But also they have revealed that in honor of the 35th anniversary of the Legend of Zelda franchise, you can actually go and get a Legend of Zelda Game & Watch handheld, where not only it has the same kind of clock settings as the Mario Game & Watch handheld, but also you can play 4 different games, including the first Legend of Zelda from the NES, Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, and the game and a remake of the Game & Watch title Vermin that is now Legend of Zelda themed. And that is actually going to be coming out on November 12th. Then, following afterwards, we also got another grand return of a classic franchise, which is WarioWare. Yes, the Switch is finally going to get a WarioWare game called WarioWare Get It Together, in which this time around, they are promoting the fact that there is also some co-op where you and a friend can play the microgames together, which that is going to be coming out on September 10th. Following afterwards, we got a remake that will be coming soon to the Switch, which is Advance Wars. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've heard from them. In this case here, it's going to be Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, which is going to be bringing back to life the first Advance Wars game and Advance Wars 2 Black Hole Rising, which that is going to be coming out on December 3rd. Following afterwards, they did go a little bit into detail, or a little more into detail, showing some gameplay for Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. And then afterwards, they revealed that some of the things that was already mentioned in other panels for this year's E3, they're also going to be coming to the Switch, which includes Life is Strange True Colors is coming to the Switch on September 10th, and later this year, that's when there's also going to be the Life is Strange Remastered. So yes, Life is Strange is also going to be coming out on the Switch. And on top of that, they have also revealed that Guardians of the Galaxy is also going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch. This time around is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy Cloud version. So you not only will you get it on the Switch, but they also stated that you can also get it on the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. On top of that, they have also revealed a little bit of gameplay footage and a little bit of like updates that they will be delivering after the release of Mario Golf Super Rush. Then afterwards, things got really spooky when they revealed a brand new Fatal Frame game that's going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch called Fatal Frame Maiden of Black Waters, to which they will say that you will go and explore the ethereal but deadly Mount Hikami, and it even promises that it will be later available this year, and it will also feature multiple protagonists, allowing you to experience the story from different angles. Next up, we also got Dragon Ball that's coming to the Switch called Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. That one is actually going to be coming out this year on September 24th, and it will also be including the boss battle episodes, A New Power Awakens Part 1 and 2. So, in case you Dragon Ball fans want to have a little bit of a taste of the Switch, so you can have this. And then afterwards, we got Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. And I will say right now, for those people who have seen the live stream of me watching the Nintendo Direct, this is probably the one that I probably freaked out the most. I was like, Super Monkey Ball! But yes, apparently Super Monkey Ball is going to be coming back to the Switch now. This time around, it's going to be a little bit similar to Mario Party Superstars, where it's not going to be a brand new game, but rather the best of Monkey Ball, where they said that it will include 300 delightfully recreated stages from the original 3 Super Monkey Ball games, 12 mini-games, and a big cast of characters. And this game is actually going to be coming out on October 5th, so apparently it's going to be coming out on my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Alright, next up, they've also revealed an extensive trailer of Shin Megami Tensei 5, in which they really went in depth into the gameplay and how things work, in which how you would go and interact with the demons and have them as your ally, or have a chat with them and see which side they will stand, depending on how you respond. And like, they really went in depth on how things work with that game. And they have also revealed that the game will be coming out on November 12th. So I'm sure this is going to be one that a lot of people will be keeping an eye out on. Then afterwards, considering this game is going to be coming soon on July 9th, they still revealed a little bit more of Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin. Then afterwards, they have celebrated the 10th anniversary of Danganronpa, and the way they are doing so is going to be with a massive collection called Danganronpa Decadence. And this one here is actually going to be a collection of some of the previous Danganronpa games, including Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair, Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony, and Danganronpa S Ultimate Summer Camp, all of which are going to be anniversary editions. And on top of that, you can even go on the eShop and buy them individually if you don't want to get all the entire collection at once. Then afterwards, they have revealed that next week on June 25th is going to be the release of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 on the Switch. Then after that, they also revealed a new DLC for Doom Eternal called The Ancient Gods Part 1 that is officially out right now. Then following afterwards, they have revealed a new co-op third-person adventure game called Strange Brigade, in which it states that players are going to be facing off against mummified monstrosities while solving perilous puzzles in booby-trapped ruins, and that is a game that is available right now. They have also revealed that Just Dance 2022 is also going to be coming out on the Switch on November 4th, as well as a new game that's coming out next week called Worms Rumble. So they're bringing in the classic Worms game, in which you can actually go and play that pretty soon on June 23rd, which will include a 32-player cross-platform combat. So I can see how that's going to be crazy. Then following afterwards, we also got an arcade classic coming to the Switch called Cruisin' Blast, which is basically your typical racing game, but like massively over the top. And I don't mean cartoony in the style of Mario Kart. If you watch the trailer, you know what I mean. It's just flat out insane. It's just over the top and crazy. But is this done? No! I forgot about one more thing. There is one more game that I forgot to talk about. Oh, but what a coincidence, because it is the biggest announcement of E3 2021, without a doubt, which is new information on possibly the most anticipated game on the Nintendo Switch, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild 2. Yes, they have previously announced this before, but now the big thing about it is that not only did they show more gameplay of it, revealing not only new abilities that Link will learn throughout his perilous adventures in Hyrule, but also new worlds as well that will be set in the skies. And on top of that, they have also revealed a release date, which will be sometime in 2022. No specifics as of yet, but we know that sometime next year, that's when we are going to get The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild 2. And that is all the major announcements of Nintendo Direct. And one thing I will say right now, this is not necessarily the best Nintendo Direct, but I will say it was still a really good Nintendo Direct that does supply us with a good amount of substance. And that was the big thing that was missing from all of these other announcements. It's just the substance. Where everyone else was primarily focusing on just dishing out DLCs and release dates, Nintendo actually had a good amount of games that they have actually revealed. Some new things that are really worth hyping up for. And there's a lot that really did capture my eye. Metroid Dread actually does sound pretty interesting. Mario Party Superstar definitely looks like a lot of fun, and I could see me and my friends having a blast with this one. On top of that, another WarioWare game, that's actually pretty cool. I've already said this before, but I freaked out when I saw Super Monkey Ball coming back, so I'm definitely gonna get my hands on this one. And also I will say the... don't go too far. Hold on a sec. Yeah, Cruisin' Blast. That looks like a really fun, over-the-top game. Like, that is definitely going to be a racing game that I would keep my eye out on. And by the way, I think I forgot to mention the release date. No specifics, but they said it's going to be in the fall that this game is going to be coming out. This looks like a wacky game that I'll definitely enjoy. So there's like already a bunch of these games that look like they're going to be a lot of fun and a lot of great promise. And you know, the funny thing is that even the stuff that has been announced before, like with Mario and Rabbids and Guardians of the Galaxy, that's also included onto this as well. So like, in a way, it kind of devalues the Ubisoft presentation and the Square Enix presentation as well, considering that those announcements are also a part of this and also promising that they will be on the Switch. Well, I mean, with Mario and Rabbids, it's like a freaking duh. But you get what I mean, though. It's just there's a lot of things that are worth being excited for. And even I will say, another interesting one I will say is Kazuya for Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, that is one I feel like, you know what? That does make sense. Like, I feel like, you know, it's like from a prominent fighting game, so... like, yeah, it would make sense having the fighter be in a fighting game, kind of like with Ryu and Ken from Street Fighter, and put them onto Smash Bros. Ultimate. But with this one here, I feel like, okay, it does make sense. Like, this is a recognizable fighting character and one of the most prominent characters from Tekken. It's kind of a surprise, but, you know, it's a pleasant surprise. The only thing I do wish, though, is that one thing I am hoping is that with Kazuya is that they don't make him too complicated. Like, I'm just hoping that they don't do something like with you know, they're not doing like Terry or with Ryu, where they have to do like the fighting style complicated like button combos in order to properly play the character. Like, hopefully he will be a little bit more straightforward, but I could definitely see the potential, especially from what we saw in the game, like in the little like trailer that we have seen. Which, by the way, the trailer itself, like, I was surprised of how straightforward it is, but also pretty funny as well, especially with the way that it just starts out with a dead Ganondorf. I kid you not, that's literally how they actually started out this Nintendo Direct. It's with a dead Ganondorf. I think someone on Twitter actually mentioned this or something like that, but I did recall that basically that one character from the Zelda CDI links from the CDI games, yeah, they pretty much lied. Yeah, that whole thing of it is written only Link can defeat Ganon. Yeah, Kazuya kind of broke that tradition as well, or kind of broke that prophecy. So so yeah, it's kind of funny. And also a lot of people also made a commentary as well that they gave the same treatment to Captain Falcon. So for those expecting another F-Zero game, well, that's your answer. It's just we see a dead Captain Falcon and just Kazuya throwing him in a volcano. And also, like, it's kind of funny where we see the ending where, like, he also tries to get rid of Kirby. It's like Kirby was still alive, but he tries to drop him in the volcano, but then Kirby is like, nah, man, I can fly. It was really cute, but also a really good trailer. A good, memorable trailer. And I mean, I think it goes without saying, of course, I am one of the many, many people that is so hyped up for Breath of the Wild 2, especially having, like, the promise that they have shown, and even, like, some of the gameplay that they have presented as well, like, some of the little things that we could do in there and the new abilities. Those look like they could be a lot of fun, and that is exactly why I do not give a crap about Ubisoft's Avatar game. Because basically, we kind of already have this Avatar-like game with Breath of the Wild 2, because the new area where you go in the skies and you enter into like these floating mountains, they're very much reminiscent to the floating mountains that we have already seen in Pandora in Avatar. So it's kind of like we already have that Avatar element, but it's already in a game that we know is going to be amazing. So we don't necessarily need that Avatar game from Ubisoft. Like, why wait for that one when we can go and get the Zelda version that we know that there is a very good chance that it's going to be a lot better? Not to say that the Avatar game is going to be bad. It's just, if I do have a choice between Avatar and Breath of the Wild, I would definitely go with Breath of the Wild. So, yeah, I think it's safe to say that overall, the big winner of all this is Nintendo. But also, I just want to go and add my commentary. Oh, hold on a sec. Excuse me. Anyways, back to what I was saying, but overall, I think it really shows that this was a very weak E3, and yeah, I kind of miss Sony because this year would have really benefited from more announcements from Sony with PlayStation. Hopefully, like, and if they would have, like, maybe, like, yeah, there might have been a chance they would have done the same thing as, like, Microsoft and Bethesda and the others and just dish out a whole bunch of, like, DLCs and release dates and give out very few actual announcements. But still, though, it would have been much better than, like, what we got right now, because that's the thing. The grand majority of the stuff that has been revealed is just Ubisoft, like, the grand majority is just release dates and DLCs and nothing else. We didn't have really all that much of substance. In fact, the only one that really is worthwhile is just the Nintendo Direct. It's just all the Nintendo announcements. And in a way, you could say that you could just flat out ignore all the Ubisoft, Xbox, Bethesda, and Square Enix announcements and just stick with the Nintendo Direct one. And that's all you really need to know with what's going to be coming up in the near future for video games, and like what are the biggest announcements at E3. And that's unfortunately the big thing with all this, is that we didn't really get a whole lot of substance. And I would not be surprised, by the way, I would definitely not be surprised if on YouTube, when I would put this up on YouTube, there are going to be those people that when they see this, they're just going to skip right ahead to the Nintendo announcements and not give a crap about any of the Ubisoft or Microsoft and Bethesda and Square Enix announcements. Honestly, if you have done that, honestly, I do not blame you, because really it's just what we've gotten from Nintendo. That's all that we need to know, and that's pretty much it. Now, are things going to be better for next year's E3? What does that mean for the next E3? Honestly, I can imagine how things can be a little bit better, because I can imagine that things are going to be opening up a little bit more thanks to the pandemic being at a conclusion. So maybe it will be improved upon, and maybe we will see Sony coming in with their announcements for the PlayStation, that they will unleash something pretty big in terms of news and stuff like that. But honestly, I don't know. Like, really, this is just discouraging me from listening to the other announcements and just stick to Nintendo because they're going to be the only ones with actual info of what's going to be coming up with good video games. And not to say, like, all the things that they announce are not going to be bad, but it's just, like, if you want legit, like, a true E3 experience, then just stick with the Nintendo ones, and that's pretty much it. And I think with that said, that should go and conclude this episode of AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast, and what a wild ride it has been. And if you have any comments that you would like to go and express in terms of all the major announcements at this year's E3, then let me know. Just write them down in the comments. If you want to go and have a discussion about what are you the most excited about? Like, if you want to have your chat wall, then do so in the comments. So with all that said and done, I would like to say thank you all so much for listening, and thank you all so much for watching. And don't forget that the podcast has now moved on Mondays at 4 p.m. Eastern, so that's going to be the brand new schedule, and I will join you all for there. And until next time, see you later, dudes.